Recurring thing. We had service Sunday night, and I was just laying there. I couldn't breathe, so I got up about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I came downstairs. I've been going to the room back and forth in the wheelchair, so I just came downstairs and I told the person, the front desk person, I said, "Can you call me an ambulance? I gotta go to the hospital." He said, "What's the matter?" I said, "I'm having problems breathing." So they came, the fire department, everybody came. And I came, they stuck me up with EKG stuff and all of that. And I sat down, while they was doing that. A gentleman nudged me hard. And I said, "Why did you do that?" He said, "We almost lost you." So I went to the hospital. They did what they had to do. It took me a day before I let anybody in my room know, my family, my pastor, anybody. I let nobody know. Just frustrated. And the devil is like this. I'm like, I know people that don't even come close to serving God like I do. And it seems like everything goes their way. I'm doing what you said. You tell me to come out. I come out. It's hard for me to stand. And it seems like I've been hurt so much, I can't even play my horn. And that's all I ever wanted to do, was play my horn. Again, I'm being obedient to you, Daddy Bailey. This is something that's hard, and then you sent word to me, you got more work for me to do. I'm saying to myself, well, this is Daddy Bailey's way of letting me out. And then you sent word to me, and you said you got more work for me to do. I'm going to do what you say. That's not even a question. I get mad because of my situation with my feet. Some people ain't got no feet. I come to the house of prayer. My pastor, my witness. If you don't see me out there, something is wrong. So I'm coming to the house of prayer. I'm asking you. I want to be healed. You said don't sing the song, Lord, don't move the mountain. I want to be healed, Daddy Bailey. I want to be able to walk without shaking. I want to be able to walk without a wheelchair. I want to walk without a cane. I want to be able to come to the house of prayer. I want to just do this. I mean, I'm a very proud man. For me to have to depend on somebody, I'm just asking you to keep me and the band in your prayers. It's a struggle. Everybody think it's easy. It's not. You got some come and go, but that's just the house of prayer. That's God's way. But I want you to pray for me. Heal me, Daddy Bill. That's all I ask is heal me.
You know what we want and what God wants is two different things. Let me be your example. I want to get out there and shout. And I've come to the conclusion, this is what the Lord wants me to be. Sometimes this is what keeps you. That's God's way of letting you know, I'm keeping you. You have to pray all the time. Sometimes it's suffering in it. It is. It's a lot of suffering sometimes, but the Lord helps you. Can I tell you about a man that wanted to get out from under his heavy load? Let him sit down. Give him a seat. Sit down. Some things you have to bear. Some things you have to do. Some things you have to tolerate. It don't mean that God don't love you. It means that you just have to bear your load. When Jesus was here, did you think in the initial beginning he wanted to carry everybody's sin and everybody's load? No. But because his Father wanted him to, he said, Father, prepare me a body. I'll go and do it. But there was much more to it than that. Somebody give me Isaiah 53 and 2 and 3 and 4. See, sometimes we want something, but it's not what God wants. So I take this time to help somebody else besides you. Listen to the great eagle-eyed prophet Isaiah, who spoke about a man he saw, but he did not see. He saw Jesus before he came. He saw his life. He saw the troubles he had to bear. This is Isaiah, prophet that could see way beyond his days and prophesied. Listen to what he said. Isaiah 53, 2.
For he shall grow up.
Listen to what Isaiah saw before the man was even born. He shall grow up like what?
Before him as a tender plant.
Before him as a tender plant. This is the Son of God that Isaiah saw. He shall grow up as a tender plant before him, the Father. Read.
And as a root out of dry ground.
And he will be as a root out of dry ground. Now, if you know anything about growing plants and growing, you have the need to grow plants and so forth, you have to have water. Without water, you can't grow nothing. But this servant grew up before God as a tender plant in a dry ground. No water, and yet he lived. That meant that he was going to have a hard time. Read.
He hath no form nor comeliness.
He had no form or comeliness. You think he wanted to be handsome? He had no form nor comeliness. Read.
And when we shall see him.
And when we shall see him.
There is no beauty.
There is no beauty.
That we should desire him.
That we should desire. You talk about your feet. Don't give you what you want, support. It swells up on you. Sometimes hard to get your shoes on. Dressing your way, sometimes you have to lean on the wheelchair. Because you have no other choice. But I'm talking about that man that represented us before Father. Read that verse again.
For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant.
Read.
And as a root out of dry ground.
Read.
He hath no form, no comeliness.
Read.
And when we shall see him.
Read.
There is no beauty that we should desire him.
Nothing about him that I would want to be. When you see him in a physical form, he was just a man without form, no comeliness. Read.
He is despised and rejected.
He was despised and rejected
Of men.
Of men.
A man of sorrows.
And listen to this part. He was a man of sorrow. every day, nothing but sorrow. He was well acquainted with sorrow. Days of misery, days of sadness, days of heavy load. And he couldn't get away from it. Read.
And acquainted with grief.
And he was acquainted with grief. He was a man that walked around nothing but grief, sadness. And that grief was what he bore because of you. He bore your sin. He bore your problems. And he was well acquainted with grief and sorrow. It was so much so that people avoided him. They looked on him and they felt bad. But they knew, some of them knew who he was. Read.
And we hid as it were our faces from him.
And we hid as if our faces from him. See that? They didn't want to behold him in that form. That picture you see on the wall of Jesus, that only represents him. That's not his image. But it represents him because we honor him so. But look what Isaiah said. There were those who didn't want to even look upon him because he was such a man of agony and of troubles and of sadness. Read.
And we esteemed him not.
We wouldn't even lift him up. Now keep in mind, this is what Isaiah saw long before it happened. And he was prophesying about it. Read.
Surely he has borne our griefs.
See that? Surely he has borne our grief. And he couldn't run out. He couldn't run from it. He had to do it. Because remember what he said in the garden when he was shedding tears and the tears were droplets like as of blood?
Yes, sir.
And he said, Father, take this bitter cup from me. But then that Christ spirit rose up in him. Not my will, Lord, thy will be done.
Yes.
At that moment, he accepted what God said and what God wanted. Even though he wanted something else, he backed up. I'll accept what God wants, my Father. But read on.
And carried our sorrow.
And he carried our sorrow. He couldn't outrun it. He couldn't put it down. He couldn't get rid of it. There were days, I'm quite sure, it was so turbulent. But somehow, some way, he made it. Read.
Yet we did esteem him stricken.
We did what?
Esteem him stricken.
He was the one that was whipped and beaten.
Yes, sir.
And we esteemed him in his whipping.
Yes, sir.
We talked about it. People talked about him because he got whipped
Yes, sir.
by men.
Yes, sir.
But he took it though.
Yes, sir.
He didn't run out from it because he had to go through it. Read.
Smitten of God and afflicted.
He, Jesus, was smitten of God. What he's saying is that because he carried our sins, no sin could stand before God. So God, when he came up with the sins of man on him, God smite him, knocked him down.
Yes.
That's what it said there. He was smitten of God for our cause. Read.
But he was wounded for our transgression.
And he was wounded for our transgressions. He did nothing wrong. He didn't deserve this, but he took it because that's what his Father wanted. And there are those among us have to carry a certain load because it's what the Lord wants. There are some Job walking around here. Job did nothing wrong, but God wanted to prove a point to Satan. I have a servant, and he's faithful and dutiful. And Satan dared God, if you take your hands off of him, I'll make him curse you to your face. And God said, go ahead, but don't touch his soul. I'm going to show you that he's my servant. He will stand. Job could not run it. He looked around. His children were killed. 7 of them. He looked around. All of his cattle, oxen, and camels were taken from him. Keep in mind, Job was one of the richest men in the East. He looked around. Houses were destroyed. No family other than his wife with him still there. And she even in his most agonistic hour, why don't you just curse God and die? And he said, you speak like a foolish woman. I will not curse God and die. God put this on me. I must bear it.
My Lord.
And you know what? When the suffering was enough for God to have shown Satan, this is my son, and he was not going to go back on me. And he made Satan a liar. He was already a liar, but again a liar. And guess what God did for Job? He gave him 7 more children. He gave him riches beyond belief.
My
And
Lord.
then he became the richest man in the East. And he walked among men as God's servant because he could take it. And God proved the point to Satan, he can take it. It wasn't easy. Can you imagine Job laying there with boils all over his body, pain and agony and suffering? 7 days he was in such agony, his friends that were there couldn't even speak to him. He was in that much pain and sorrow and trouble. And that's when his wife said, why don't you curse God and die? So every man don't have a choice for what he has to go through with. There's certain of us have to bear our load because we become a witness that I live by faith.
My Lord.
The faith that I have in the Lord. I'm healed by faith.
People have to see faith in reality.
I live by faith. That's what you have to do. When I tell you you got more work, it's hard to see that. But go ahead, because you're going to live by faith. You're not the only one have to suffer. But for the work of God, it must be done. Now continue. Give God everything. Ain't God good? It's all right. If I suffer for righteousness' sake, the scripture said, be happy that you were found worthy to suffer. I don't mind, Lord, suffering. I will suffer. spiritual display. But maybe the next time you can give it. Let's go on and put on a shouting glory back.